Thanks. Now if you can just give me some clients, my perfection.
What's
Man,
up? What's up, party people?
It's crazy because, like I said, like our monthly like big numbers like that, like I said on last call, are definitely like few and far between. So when we hit it, I'm like, thank you, Lord. But like, for example, I kind of missed what you were going over on that last section because of a guy that we literally talked to at the first of our career and starting this. And I'm pretty sure, I think he's out of Oklahoma City. He's a body guy, like a paint body guy. And I hit him up because I was scrolling through all of our old messages. I'm like, who did we kind of have on the hook and then just fall off the loop, you know? And I messaged him on Monday, and I was messaging him back during that little preview and telling him about our services. Was you on the call with Zach Coder last night?
I wasn't.
No. So his 5:30 call yesterday is like, I was on there with him for like 5 minutes before other people popped on, and I was just gonna get on there and kind of be like a wisdom sucker for that call. And I told him like I'm just having a hard time like when we're fulfilling stuff of prospecting, because I'm kind of our number one guy that does like our sales and client management and stuff. And it's just like what he said, you know, it's going to take, I like to say, like 10 touches before I even almost get a response back. By my fifth one, I'm cussing that guy. You know, I'm like, come on, like, I know you're not that dang busy if I'm sitting here contacting 10 people a day and following up with 10 people a day. But like last month, I would literally had a piece of sticky note paper. I was writing down the dates. I was reaching out to 10 people a day and following up with 10 people. So I was touching 20 people on a daily basis before we even touched $10,000. So like my guy that I said that I closed for the $200 GBP management, when we sold him a website, I finally counted it up to like get it in my head to understand that I wasn't like being a little dramatic. But I contacted him 35 times before I finally got the website sale. He kept saying, yes, 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 I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I was finally like called him and like kind of just called him out because he just kept saying, well, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And I'm like, yeah, but you're so busy that you're going to run out of work because you don't have a website. And he was like, oh, man. And finally he was like, all right, how do we get started? And I said, I'm going to send you a invoice. And when you pay that, I'm going to see that you're serious and we'll get started. And
how much was the invoice you sent him?
I mean, we closed him for $2,000 on the website. So, like, you know, that was
Did
like
you send him like? Did you send him like a deposit invoice for like a few $100?
$1,000. We just split it in two, you know, and like when he paid that, like he was serious, you know, and I've stayed in touch and in contact with him over the last year. And he was like, I've just gained that trust and everything. And I almost actually closed him on his social media and his GBP management. And just right now, he's like, I'm actually so booked up, you know, that I kind of scared to I gave him a price at like $300 for his GBP. And he was like, that's a little much. And I was like, well, that's a growth package. Like, I'm going to try to move you up, keep you up. We'll be, you know, obviously doing all the our checklist that what we need to do. And he was like, I just want something to be maintained to show that people, if they go to my Google business profile, they know that I'm still in business and I'm responding to clients and I'm here. So like, I'll add like 2 pictures. Actually, this is his first month. I've just now kind of started on his services, but I closed him at $200. So I literally knocked off $100 to not close him at $200. And like, you know, we're just now setting at like $2,300 monthly retainers, and that's taken us since December of 2025. I know it don't seem that long, or yeah, at the end of the year, I think it was when we joined school community, and it just it's taken me a while to understand that it just takes that much to keep following up with people. I mean, I literally had a guy last month that he was like, I need a Google business profile and I need help with my social media. When can we jump on a phone call? I've called him 3 times when we were around the timing that he said he was wanting to jump on a phone call. I've followed up with him now, and I've texted him, and still no response. Text him again yesterday. He's read it and no response. So for me, like I get.
Let me give you another. So I had a person like that. I had a photographer like that. What I want you to do with that person is I want you to film a Loom video of you showing him, say, look, I know you're super busy. I'm going to give you some free advice right here. Go into your profile like this and just do this. Just do this today. This is something that I can do, and I can do it, with code and better and this, that thing. But just do this. This is one of my free little, nuggets for you to start optimizing your Google profile. And then one of two things is going to happen, right? He's going to do it, which probably won't happen, or he's going to be like, wow, this kid's telling me what to do. That's cool. And then he's going to be like, you know what? You're right, Jared. Just do it. What was the price again? What do we got to do to get started?
Yeah.
I have a photographer string me along literally for like 3 months. And I did it as a joke to myself just to see if I could close him. And so, and this will work with you too, Brandy, because I know you got a couple on the hook that aren't committing. And so I'm like, they had their service area was just the whole state of Texas. And so I had mentioned in the Loom video, the first thing we're going to do to this, Greg, is we're going to fix your service area. It's got to be done immediately. Well, they blew me off and they're like, yeah, whatever. And so I sent them a video like a week later after not hearing back from them. And I'm like, guys, I can't look at your Google profile because it's just wrong. Can you just go in and do this? And I showed them the back end and I showed them how to change it to Fort Worth, Texas. I'm like, this is where we start. Get rid of all the other things in the back end for service areas and just click Fort Worth. Do that, and now you're only competing against Fort Worth. Fort Worth is big enough for you to get business in. You're fishing in an ocean instead of a pond, and so you need to fish in a pond right now. And then I waited like another week, and then I sent them another video that said, okay, do this. I go, take this picture and post it as an update and write a little blurb about yourself. Do that. And then after that one, he texted me and he's like, this is like something out of a comedy. Yes, he's like, because they didn't think I was for real. And he's like, let's get on a call and let's just do this. Because he didn't do any of the things I told him to do. And I got in there and he went from not being found to top of page 1. I don't think he's in the top 3 yet, but he's close. He is, just because the amount of saturation in photography in Fort Worth, but they're super happy. We're going on about a year now. So if you have a client, instead of offering like 30 days, 60 days for free or whatever like that,
don't do 60.
Give them a free nugget. Say, at least go in and do this so I'm happy looking at your profile. Because right now it's blank. Show them how to share reviews. Like go in and say, did you know that you could just go right here and take your QR code and give it to your crew, and all of a sudden your reviews are going to triple. Just do that. Yes, you should let me in there to reply to these using keywords and location words, code your pictures, write your updates, do your blogs, add your products. But just do this for me. I can't stand looking at 6 reviews only over the past 2 months. And he'll get a kick out of it, right? Like make him, if someone had sent me free advice like that, I'd be like, what am I doing? Let's just hire this guy. Enough is enough, right? So I've used that angle, and I use that angle in the beginning quite often. Giving something, people love things for free, guys. You got nothing to lose.
And I don't know if you see this behind me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what that is.
So we were just kind of chasing numbers, so to say, right? So each one of our services, I'll see if I can turn this around. So each one of our services is like somebody's hit us up and it's like, wonder what they can afford. So we throw out this number, and then it's like, well, we can't do this. So we throw out another number. And by the end of it, we weren't closing anybody. Literally, what is Mark? January, I looked at me and Kayla was sitting there because we like one night. So Zach is like another phone call, like another call that we get on, and just so many nuggets are there.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can automatically tell y'all where you are, like, or reason why you're not closing what you want to close is because you don't have numbers set in place.
Right.
At the end of January, we got this poster board. Well, it's actually out of one of our old businesses. It's just like, but we wrote on it and we was like, all right, what are our prices? And when we got this, it's like, this is our non-negotiables. You gotta, just like he was saying yesterday, you gotta have your non-negotiables, and your prospecting has got to be like high on your negotiable, because if you're not prospecting, you're not getting anybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can turn this around, but we sat down and wrote down all of this. So it's like, what are we gonna do? Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
So it's our Google Business Profile set up per month, one-time opt, landing pages and sites. Like this is all of like this is our baseline of where we start out at. So, and it's just like what we do. And as soon as we wrote this down, it was like, I don't know. I mean, it just changed for us, because it's like we come back here and someone's like, well, what do you offer? And it's like, give me 1 second. I'm going to go open my books and make sure I'm not, giving you something that I can't remember. And it's like, it's almost like when they hear that, they're like, oh, okay. I mean, you go to get your car repainted and fixed, they're going to put in all their numbers, and they have exact numbers of their hourly rate, how much that paint is, and when you're supposed to get your car back. And that's most of the time why we go with people, right? Because like,
Yeah.
okay, you're going to charge me $250 and I can expect my car back in 1 week. Awesome. I'm going to go with you.
Here's the cool thing. So you're at like, $20, $25, $2,300 a month or something like that. What happens to those numbers when you hit $5,000 a month?
These numbers?
Yeah.
They're going to go up.
Of course. Right. It's a, right. Like when you're in the beginning, when you're super hungry, you just want clients.
Yeah.
And then as you start to feel that stabilization, you're going to get experience to where, like, if we charge this much, if you charge $99 a month, right, for a profile, you're probably not going to keep it, right? That's just one of those things where you're trying to offer something so low that they can't say no to. The problem with too low is it's the first thing they cut, which is really strange. When you charge someone $285 a month, they see more value in it. It's this weird psychology where they're like, no, we can't cut Google. I mean, that's important. That we have to have that expense. Whereas 99, they're like, do we really need that? It's $99 a month. We can save 100 right there. Boom, take it off. So weird thing where you kind of have to find the sweet spot. And I feel like I've found it at between 200 and 300 a month. So I think you're right on point. We have seen bigger numbers in the group, but I really feel like it has to be sustainable too for a company.
Yes.
So I love that. I have that list in my head. My social media is a little bit more pricey, and my web builds are more pricey, and my Google profiles probably a little less. So, but that doesn't matter, right? Like, as you gain more momentum, you're going to increase definitely those website prices.
Yeah.
And with social media, but you're doing a lot of social media for 300. I can tell you that. I'm doing one post a week across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for 200 a month, and it's the same post.
Yeah,
it's the same post, just edited down.
We definitely know we need to go up on our social media prices, because it takes at the bare minimum 3 posts weekly to stay in the logarithm on social media. So like, obviously, if you're not kind of in the logarithm of people looking for that type of service, it's in a sense kind of pointless, just besides showing that your Facebook is still active, that you can be reached out there.
So this is another selling point, using that Google Share. Like, okay, so did you miss that in the end of the call?
I didn't miss all of it. I just kind of missed the steps. I was hearing it, but I was missing the steps.
So if you manage a Google profile, you're not going to go into their GBP through businesses. You're going to go through maps. So you're going to go here. So you're just going to go to maps.google.com, right? And then from here, you're going to do a Google search for one of your profile. Okay. And your profile is going to come up and you're in your back end. So this is my profile in the back end. From here,
Can't see your screen. I don't know if you were sharing.
Hold on. I'm an idiot. I've done that so many times.
New guy.
Yeah, right.
I remember my first time.
Old guy, you mean?
Experienced. I learned that. I think I called someone old here the other day, and they said, "I'm not old. I'm experienced."
I'm old. Oldish, anyways. Although I don't feel it. Okay.
Jarrett,
Yeah.
would you mind? I'm a super visual person. If you don't want to post it to the group, can you message me your poster board privately if you don't want to post it so I can do the same for myself? Because yeah, I'm a super visual person. So I kind of, and numbers for me, dyslexia, it's a lot. So if you could give me that visual, I would appreciate that.
I'll send you two because I also have screenshotted because here's my goal. This is like Zach Coder's pricing. Like a one-page website is $1,000. His 5 to 6 is 1,500 to 2,000. His 10-page starts at $3,000. But I'll definitely send you this because if it wasn't for this, I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start. So I don't mind sharing, and that's for our social media. Kaylee, which was briefly in here with me just a minute ago, she's starting like a faith-based clothing line with some people that we know here local. And she reached out to us because she has 2 kids and she gets these little branding deals. Like, have y'all ever seen like the headphones where they're for babies and they're noise canceling? She had some people send over to her one of those, and they're just asking her for 3 posts of her baby wearing it because her husband is in MMA, and that's kind of how we got in with them, and met them through like the MMA group that we were in. And for 3 posts, they're going to pay her like $385 just for sending posts of her baby wearing them and the situation that she's in. And
wow.
she went to I think cosmetology school, but she's been around all these people that do social media, and she actually way better than us at social media and branding and stuff. And she was like, if y'all have the availability, I'd love to come on to the legacy team because I could take over y'all social media and really help go up. So like I just told him, if we gain more customers, obviously you're not in this stressful time of man, I need customers. So $150, how's that sound? And it's we were looking, it's been probably a month or so back, but there was a girl on this call, the GBP call, and I think she's charged $1,500 a month for social media. And I was like, how in the world?
Yeah.
But it's in a case of she worked with another company and she learned the ins and outs of what really helps her clients grow. And if we can bring her on, which we're looking at doing, because it's okay, if you have someone, you send them to us. If we close them, we'll automatically pitch you back this, right? Just like a lead gen website. And then depending on how many sites she's over, we'll just pay her, a flat rate for taking over our social media. So it's that's where we can see our actual social media packages going up to at least $1,200, because if we can bring her on and she's doing more than us and actually helping them brand and grow, it's we can pitch her over $300 a month per social media account and still be banking more than what we are now for $300. So, it's obviously that's kind of the white label, but that would be on our team and she's local and we'd be able to grow. So it's just little stepping stones, little tidbits like that. That's helped us. And
yeah, because I joined, I think it was November, and I'm making a sad little $200 a month, and I've been sitting at 200 since January, and it's my savings is on its last breath. So I'm very, very discouraged right now. and very desperate.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out what is it going to take for things to click in place, because I feel like I'm doing everything right. I say what everybody else says. I go after the same kinds of people. So I don't know what it's going to take. So maybe it, people always talk about vision boards. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know those things, but I'm a visual person. So if I can set those numbers in front of me, maybe it'll help me feel more confident and more straightforward in what I'm selling to help people freaking close.
Yeah.
So,
Like we joined December. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
okay. I just said I don't know what else to do.
We joined December 3rd of 2024. That was probably the most stressful times of our life. And I'd been following Derek and Dakota's page for 6 to 8 months before I even pulled the trigger to even reach out and be like, hey, like, how do I get into this? And they're like, oh, it's just $5,000. I'm like, no, it ain't just $5,000 because Christmas is right around the freaking corner. My wife's birthday is on the 1st. My birthday's on the 18th. We have like 5 nieces and nephews' birthdays all in December. So it's like, no, it's not just $5,000. It's a lot more than that. It's living. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to charge my iPad. But going off that, like, and I know John's sitting here waiting on it to go through this, but I get discouraged because, to be honest, I don't get on the school app very much because every time I get on there, I see Josh Talley closing all these deals for $500 and $3,000. I'm like, dude,
Seriously.
But hey, like I've reached out to him and told him my AKA problems, right? And he's like, let's jump on a phone call. Let's see how we can fix it. And he's been a little busy. He said he was moving during the time when it was kind of more right for us. But like, if man, when you're ready to grow, like you said, it comes to the point when you get desperate. And I hear what you say, like you're saying all the things that everyone else is saying, because we were in the same boat. Like, I don't know how many times I've come out of like our office and I've like have people get on a phone call with me, seem so interested, and go, yep, send me a proposal and we'll jump on one of the 3 things that we went over, and never hear from them again. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, if I could see you, I'd probably slap you in the head. You know what I mean? And like come out, and my wife's like, bro, just calm down, like quit cussing, things are going to move forward. And
let me do this. You guys aren't. I got an idea, Brandy. Okay, let me. I'm gonna show Jarrett this real quick, and then we're gonna focus on where you're at with.
Well, let's try to help her gain a client. Like,
yeah, I know. Me and Derek always talk about. I really wish that I had pitched the funeral guy for you, because I feel like he would not have said no to me, or he wouldn't have blown me off, right? Yeah. I'm like, how old is this guy? 70?
I would say probably.
I'm 55. He's not going to shelve me, right? And I would have used words like, let's build this thing into a legacy that you can either pass on or sell, or, let's build this product up to where someone wants it, or that you're proud to give to somebody, not because in another 10 years, people aren't going to be going to you just because it's the only place in town.
That's how I've changed my lingo. Like, to the guy that said he's too busy, and I'm like, that's cool, right. But don't you have kids? Wouldn't you, or even if you don't want to, wouldn't you want to look at in 5 years having everything set in stone, right, when you go to sell this business and be like, I have my website, my Google business profiles in the top 3, my social media is ranking. Like, how much more, like, we've sold businesses where they're in the negative and it's a storefront and there's not much that we can change. Right. So it's getting them to realize, like, dang, if I have these assets in place, how much more profit can I get out of my business?
Right. It's not just about today, right? It's about what are we going to be looking at 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now? We're going to be looking at a product that is extremely well known, has a good reputation, has a massive amount of reviews, and really there's no other choice for people to pick you, right? And if that's not in your brain, then I don't want you as a client. Yeah. Right. Because I own a business, and I am super proud of, guys, this is my gym. Look. Oh, I don't know why. It always brings me to the back end. My own gym, I can't even show you the back end because it blanks it out. But there are here, look. I have two kids. My kids are 6 and 11. So you can imagine what I want them to look at years from now, right? I mean, this is what you're first going to see, right? 437 reviews for a CrossFit gym. That's like the Matt Daddy, right? I practice what I preach. Everything that we do in this course, I do it to my own gym, right? The Google profile, the updates, the products, right? This is a games athlete. That's my physical therapist now. Like I do everything that I preach, build out the products. And so I got to go in and add keywords. Back when I started, Google would only allow you a couple hundred keywords, right? So I practice what I preach here. I know that I'm building something so big that something extremely detrimental would have to happen for them not to have an opportunity to run this business. And I use that a lot in my pitches. You guys know I'm not ashamed to share my other job. And I'm very upfront with my clients about it. I'm like, I own a couple companies. Like, this is one of mine. Look at what I do. Look at this here. But I have an idea for you, Brandy. Hold on. I want to show Jarrett this. Jarrett, when you go to, well, we're going to start from scratch. We're going to go to maps.google.com. And then you're going to put one of your companies that you manage here. So I'm going to pick your college concierge. And then you're going to, when it opens, you're going to, I can get rid of this. You're going to click on reviews. And you're going to go in, you're going to take a 5-star review, and you're going to click these 3 buttons here. And you're going to click share review. Now you can automatically share it across these 3 channels. So if you have their Twitter, which I do, I can do it here. Or I can just copy link, go to their Facebook page, go to posts, right? Put the link here, which I did yesterday, and
Okay.
this will come up. I've just created a backlink.
Got you.
Okay.
That'll help me a lot with CNC because, like I said, she trusts us a lot. And I mean, when we got her, we literally drove to Little Rock, Arkansas, and took branding photos for them, met them in person, and all that. So, like, that we actually have that face-to-face connection. I mean, we were literally on the phone last week where she was going to cancel her social media because her boy thinks that we don't understand tree services. And then once she kind of jumped his butt, it all come down to him not wanting to be posted on Facebook because he don't like the way his self looks. And I'm like, man, like, you just don't look at the pictures then. Don't go on your page.
Right.
Like if you want work, we're going to be posting pictures that gets people's attention. Like we're not trying to make you I mean, we are trying to make you happy, but we're also trying to get you business. And that's what I told her, because during the snowstorm, we were getting all their, like, we helped them specifically. We helped them respond to like their messages. And we sent them 6 people that needed snow removal because she's just too busy. And the son will not actually run his own business. He's literally just the service guy, and that's it. And then if anything else is said from him, sorry, but he's bitching about something. And she finally told him, was like, look, without them, you would have had no snow removal jobs. You wouldn't have known anything about these 6 jobs.
Right.
So you can either stay off of the social media page and continue to get jobs, or you can let your wife do it that does nothing for you, and then y'all can have problems at home and in business. And he was like, okay, Mom, they're doing good. I know they are. It's just, I'm in my head. So like, in the sense of like what Kaylee said, I need to quit being nice and sell. That's kind of what I need to do for the Google business profile, because
and you'll get better at it as you get more confident with the clients that you have and a little bit more comfortable. Brandy, let's think about this. Let's if you created a board like Jared did for pricing, right? And this is going to sound crazy, right? What instead of thinking about like, what do you have to make? Let's think about what can you make? Like, so what can we make off of one Google profile? And I only say this because I remember starting out and charging as little as $79 for a couple of my profiles. Like, I know it sounds crazy to hear that, but a friend of mine gave me a friend of mine does social media. The girl that builds our websites, she does social media for clients. She will not do Google profiles. And she's like, I quoted this guy $150 for his Google profile, but I need my cut. I'm like, well, what's your cut? She's like 40%. So we do 60-40 depending on who got the client. And I'm like, Nikki, like, you want me to do a profile for 60%? I'm like, what is that? That's 150, 15 times 4, that's 60. That is $89. All right, let's do it. And that was like, I got 5 accounts like that, like 70, 80 bucks. And I don't think about it, right? Because it's just, for me in the beginning, it was just a numbers game. Like, how fast can I get 40 clients, 50 clients? And it worked. So I really wasn't hung up on pricing yet until I saw that, okay, I'm kind of getting used by this client. That client has me doing way too much. I don't do enough for that client. Boy, that's lucky. And it was kind of a law of averages. Like, some clients are a big pain in my butt. Some clients are not. Am I averaging 150 a month, right? Because that was kind of my number back then. And, that number has grown since then a little bit. So my point is that, what can you do for these clients where they would absolutely be like, yeah, just do it? And if we rewind and look at the funeral guy, the problem with the funeral guy is just a disconnect between his generation and yours. That's all that is. That's nothing you did wrong. That's just a disconnect between, a 70-year-old and how old are you? 30? 40, right? That's the disconnect, right? There probably wouldn't have been that disconnect between me and him, but that's just fact. That's just life. It's not like I would have said anything different, right? Now,
back.
Now, if you go back to him, what's his name?
Wayne.
Wayne. I know, Wayne. Just let me do this. Just let me in there. Let me in there for a couple months. Give me what you want down the road. Just let me in there. Like, I'm watching it do nothing. Let me get in there and I will show you what this is supposed to look like. And then down the road, we'll figure out something fair. My job is to, what my goal is to, show everybody in this town what this is supposed to look like on the internet, starting with you. And I'm not going to do a different agency for funeral homes. You're the only one. Then I'm going to go after a car guy. Then I'm going to go after a coffee shop. Then I'm going to go after, a printer. Then I'm going to go after a plumber. And if we had started a list on your wall, like Jarrett has, and your pricing on that wall was $10 a month, he probably would have been like, yeah, let's go. Would he have said that for $50 a month? I don't know. Would he have said it for $200 a month? No. We know he said no in his brain, right? So we know that we see all these numbers in school, like Jared, like, just hit a grand slam when he said that, right? I also used to get discouraged, and I'm a coach looking at these numbers. And I would kind of make jokes about it with people like, is this guy for real? And then I actually asked him to look at something for me. And he deep dived. Like, he knows what he's doing. And I think he's just got a different model, meaning I'm going to get what I can get for as long as I can get. And when I don't get it anymore, that's fine. I'm going to move on to client B. He's not a longevity kind of seller. He's like, I'm going to sell you a $10,000 product today because, me or you might be hit by a train tomorrow. So I'm going to take that 10 grand now. And there's something to be said about that. I'm not that guy. I'm a glass half full guy. I'm a super optimist. And I want to see my client 2 years from now thriving. Now, he's good. John Talley's good. He's good. He's as good as I've seen.
Yeah, he's told me he's at like 21,000 retainer. I'm like, holy crap, man.
Yeah. I mean, he'll go after anything and everything. And if he doesn't know how to do it, he'll figure it out real fast. Me, I like to stay in my lane, you know, where I'm probably losing a little bit of money because I like to stay in my lane. Man, this guy, he spends a lot. Now, that being granted, I know his backstory. I know that he had no choice. He had to make this. He had to make this work. He had another business, and it kind of fell apart. And so he went into this like a bull, and it paid off.
That's where I feel like I am. Like, I have to make this work. My visa won't allow me to just walk down the street and get a job. So I have to make this work because my other business that I have, it's kind of stagnant too. And I can't figure out how to get this other business. I've been at it for 2 years. So it's like, I have to make this work. So I'm a Josh Talley in female form. Like, I have to make this work. And that's why I'm getting discouraged, because it's like, I am doing literally all I know to do. And I even have a graphic design degree. I went to school for graphic design. So I feel like that in a sense can give me some credibility, because graphic design and marketing kind of go hand in hand. A lot of people think so anyways, but I just feel like if I were, and this isn't to sound negative, but I think I've told you this before, if I were a man, people would trust me more with this stuff. And I don't know why, because I feel like with me, like personally with me, if I had a girl or a guy approach me and say, hey, I want to optimize your X, Y, and Z, I feel like I would automatically trust the guy with technical stuff than I would the girl. So I feel like that's kind of a position I feel in. It's like, is it because I'm a girl and that's why people aren't trusting me as much, or what is the hang up? Because I'm literally doing all I know to do. And I work a lot at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you hit all the points. I am not a female, so I can't dismiss what you said. And I'm not going to dismiss what you say, because that could be part of it. As I've gotten older and have kids, I look at men and women the same now. When I was younger, I think I would have agreed with that point. And now because I've changed, right? And I look at women. I actually look at women stronger than men now because of CrossFit. In my gym, we're 70% women. Women can handle stress and anxiety and pressure way easier than men. When men get anxious and feel pressure and stressful, they look for a way out. Women don't look for a way out, right? So, you know, we're going to get in our truck and drive out down the street. Women are going to like fight, you know? And so I used to look at the world a little bit more like you're saying. And now, look, I've had some sharp people calling me. I know this girl from Paycheck. She always calls me. She's trying to get me to switch over to ADP or whatever it is for my payroll service. This girl's a shark. And it makes me laugh every time she calls me, because I just tell her, like, look, I do my own payroll with gusto. I don't need you, but you are a shark. I will give you that. And she basically almost makes it impossible for me to say no to her. So for you, we have to find a pitch that works and is repetitive, that you can just rinse and repeat.
I would appreciate that.
That's literally what our call was over yesterday. And like, the reason I was shaking my head just a second ago when he was like, because I'm a girl or a woman, you know, I don't feel like people trust me, is Zach Coder's exact, like, not exact, right? But he was literally like, women can sell better than men, because he said, not being sexist, not being anything, but it's just, they're easier to talk to most times.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to try to stoop down on my level and understand more than I could see a man doing it, because
they have more empathy, more sympathy.
Yeah, and most people
listen better.
Yeah, I about to say, most people will say about a man, they have their ego and pride in the way. So, like, you know, he was calling some of his prospecting times. He said, I don't come up with any new messages. I literally copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. He said that also takes my emotions out of it. It takes less time, and I can go through way more people with just a copy and paste message. And he said, like, my Google business profile, like, I went to Chat GBT and told him what I was having trouble with and what I was wanting to close for Google business profiles. And it gave me 4 reach out messages that technically are like all the same. And then I think it gave me 7 messages for follow-ups. Here's what you send on day 3. Here's what you send on day 5. Here's what you send on day 14. Here's what you send on day 20.
And was that with a lot of your Facebook leads?
That was Google business profile, or like I was
like
texting people.
Finding them through Facebook?
Yeah. Literally, like my first message would be like, hey, because I would type in tree service near me, and you know how you can go up there and change your locations like all over. So I'd type that in, and I would start in Texas, and I'd just find everyone that was in below the top 5, and I would go from 5 to 10, and I would message them, hey, I don't know if you know, or not sure if you are happy, but I was wondering if you're happy with the way your Google business profile sets your brand up.
See, I like that pitch, and Jared mentioned that pitch a month ago, 2 months ago. And I showcased that in a couple calls. Like, are you happy with the way your company looks like on Google? He's not saying he's a Google profile expert, or let me get you ranked, or all these tens of thousands of emails and calls we get a day. But he's just saying, are you happy? Are you happy? And he admitted, like, he got some people that said, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, cool. Did you know though? And then you can follow up, like, did you know that you're getting beat out by Jack's cars on the corner?
Yeah.
Right there, because the guy replied, right? That's 90% of the problem, right? Maybe more than
no
that.
response.
Getting a response, because he asked a question that demands an answer. Hey, are you happy with this? Did you know that you're getting beat by Vaughn's cars on the corner? Or did you know that the only reason that you're getting beat is because they have Vaughn in their name? Or did you know the only reason they're getting beat is because they have the word, they're a keyword of psychology in their name? Well, I'm going back to giving something for free in an initial pitch. Who cares? You don't have them as a client.
Yeah.
And so I like, Brandy, that you focused on arm's length in your town. We got some nibbles, but let's expand that, and let's hammer the internet. Like he said, it can be mind numbing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's what I've been doing though. Like I've been doing the low hanging fruit. I've been going on the different pages. I went to Contractors of Kansas City, plumbers, the different big places that you guys recommend. I even did, because sometimes I have to set my VPN to the US instead of France. So when I do that, it puts me in New York, and I didn't even think about it. So I said contractors near me, and it put me in New York. So I'm like, let's hit those up. So I hit up a bunch of those, and I got one bite out of like a gazillion, and then nothing transpired from it. And so
give that bite something for free. So go back and look at their profile and say, hey, this would help immediately. Send your crew your QR code. This is how you find it. And then you go into a Google profile that you can get into, or one of mine, and show them where they can find it. Give something for free. I urge you to write a like on a piece of paper or a little whiteboard, some pricing, right? And say it's like Google profile management, and say you write $79 next to it, and then you're gonna say, I'm not gonna name your number, you're gonna name your number, right? But let's say it's $79, and you're gonna make a deal with yourself that after you get 5 profiles at $79, you have another tier. Okay, now I'm gonna charge $99 or $109 or $139. Because now I kind of get it. I got a way to get these guys, right? And then make a deal with yourself that for every few clients that you get, you increase it to where you're satisfied. Like just like Jared did, but he did it in another way, right? He got business and then he did it. I want you to start at your bare minimum just to get exposed to it, and then you're gonna make a deal with yourself to increase pricing as you get clients. Also, I told you that if you get another nibble, let me at it. I'll say
Yeah.
I'm your partner, and I'll go at it full steam and be like,
That's
look,
what I was about to say. Like, I'm in
yeah,
no way, shape, or form. That's what I tell Kaylee all the time. I was like, I wish we were making more money so that I could hire a sales guy, because I know I'm horrible at it. Like, if we actually had a sales guy that's probably been in it for at least 3 years, like, we'd probably close way more clients. Obviously,
so what you don't understand, Jared, is you're kind of a natural salesman. And yeah, you might be nice and you might not have found like your sweet spot as far as pricing goes, but I told you from day one that your demeanor and your honesty is what's going to sell. Brandy, what is my guess that people aren't responding to you? Probably too not. You're probably come off as way too nice, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way.
no.
I think that's going to play a part as you get clients in your favor. You're way nicer than me, right? So that once you get that pipeline, it's going to be hard for people to let you go, right? It's hard for people to let me go because I'm kind of a dick about it, right? I'm like, what? I feed your like I'm just waiting for my tire guy to fire me when he gets 3 or 4 Yelp leads a month through what I do on Yelp for him. Free, and we don't even run ads, right? I do his Yelp page too, and I know how many he gets because I'm copied on the lead. And he doesn't even reply to the lead. I gotta text him and be like, you got a lead in Yelp, log into Yelp. Can you do that for me? I don't remember how to do that. Sure, And so when he goes to fire me and be like, do you know that like this is paying for itself and more because of the leads you get on Yelp, bro? And that's the conversation I know that's coming. But he owes me money from 2 days ago, and I messaged him this morning, and he's completely blown me off. And I want to see. He pays me through Cash App, which is my mistake from the get-go. And he has not paid me yet. And I sent him this on Sunday. So I know that's coming. So my point being that make a deal with yourself that is close enough to like, again, this is going to backfire on you down the road when these people realize like, oh, I don't need this girl for $79 a month. I'm going to save that and take my wife out to lunch once a week. But like, go, make a deal with yourself on that pricing strategy, and let's just see if pricing can close somebody too.
What are you offering for your services right now? Because like our first 8 months into this, I can't recall how much we've even closed like in the first 8 months, and it wasn't a lot, like not very much.
Jerry, you said that you joined in December of 25. Did you mean
24? 24. Yeah.
He's at 2,400, 2,300 a month. He's been in this group for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Now he didn't find this sweet spot. So what happened is I remember him getting this real long driveway client forever ago. And he was on a call with me, and I had that conversation with him about, bro, you're going to be fine. Like, I know you think you can't sell, and I know you're going to be fine. And then we didn't see him for a while. And then he came back on a few months ago and was, win after win after win after win. And I kind of had that feeling like if he just stuck with it long enough, it would happen. And I know that, I know that's true of you. And I know you're discouraged, and I know you can only hear this so many times, but I know that you're learning at a faster pace than he did.
Yeah.
Much faster. And it will pay off. It will pay off.
It's just knowing that comparison is a thief of all joy.
Yeah.
I literally went and met with my pastor this morning, and like the comparison game will destroy your mind, your strive to continue. And I can say, like, I don't know where you're at financially and physically and mentally, but we were in Northwest Arkansas, like the capital of the Walmart world. We were paying $8,000 in rent for our business. We had $20 a day that we could take and go get something to eat or go home and make something to eat. And that was literally like, you're like, man, I'd love to have $20 a day. But at the end of the day, when you're up there and you're like, okay, I got $8,000 in rent, got to pay $7,000 for inventory, and you just keep on keeping on, like, you're seeing all these other people thrive and come in and being happy and talking about their jobs. And you're like, I know I'm different than you because I don't want a job. I want to be an entrepreneur. So I say that to say, like, keep thriving, keep pouring into these. Like I said, I had to pull myself out of going on the school app and reading people's wins. The only reason I put my wins in there every now and then is people like you. I hope they can see it and be like, man, $285. Like, I can $285 to change my life.
Yeah. So so Derek's whole thing on wins is, and I know that the Josh Tallies of the world make us kind of question, right? Like, is this for real, or what am I doing wrong? What do I got to do to be that guy? Like he said, that's a no-win situation. Right?
Get you aggravated.
Yeah, get you aggravated. B,
Courage.
like,
Yeah.
He's had the time to deep dive into all these other products because he didn't have anything else going on. I don't have the time to do that because of my other job. And right, we're believing 1,000% of what we read. What we know that everything on the internet is not 1,000% true, right? I mean, I'm not saying that about him. I'm just saying in general. And so to compare ourselves to people on the internet is tricky, right? It's not going to win. And so the reason why we want to post wins is to show people that it just can be done. Yeah. Right? It's possible, that this wasn't a scam, right? Because it's a lot of money. $5 grand is a lot of money.
And every time I see, I mean, I'm a very, very, comparison is probably my biggest weakness. I do it with everything. And so, because I also tend to be a perfectionist. And so it's like, I'm very guilty of comparing, but with you guys, because I have rapport with you. So like when you guys win, I'm like, okay, I'm next. Like I am next. You know, I say that when I see everybody else win, I'm like, freaking screw off. Like, you know, I get so mad and I cry.
You're not the only one who thinks that way, right? All of us A-type are going to think that way. And like insecurity and perfectionism is very close together, right? Yeah. So the reason why we want to be perfectionists is because there's something in us that is insecure. So we don't want that to win, right? We want the perfectionist to win. And I know this sounds corny, but it will happen. Even if you get a bite and let me at it, or Zach or Derek, we've all talked about you, and we're all like, we're gonna get her. We're gonna get her.
Good, because I cry almost every day when it's just like, why is this not moving forward right? Like, what is the hang up? And it's like, I look at my bank account. I literally, and not to have a pity party, just being real, I have like 1 month to figure this out because.
All right, so I'm gonna challenge you on that, right? Because you're in a tight spot, and I want to. You're 40 years old. You're not old. And I know that you're in Paris because it was your dream. And let's say that none of this goes your way, that, you know, basically this all gets burned to the ground. You're like, you got to go home. You got to go home to Kansas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You got to go home to Kansas. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just being a wicked, like, devil's advocate here. You go back to Kansas. The first thing you're going to do in Kansas, right? Your parents still live there?
Yeah.
You got to go move into your high school bedroom?
Not doing it.
Okay.
No.
Right.
I've
Again,
done it twice already. I'm not doing it again.
All right. But I'm going to paint this horrible picture in your brain. You're going to go back to your high school room in Kansas with, I don't know, back then it would have been like the Backstreet Boys on the wall, right? And then
the Backstreet Boys,
right? And then the first thing you do is open your computer, and you're gonna start prospecting, just like you do now from Paris.
No way, I would be done. I know me. I would be so done if that happened. I would just stop. I'd be like, "F this."
I don't believe you would, because I feel like from day one you've felt like a little bit of a fish out of water doing this from Paris. And I would too. And I have felt for you for that. And I feel like I feel like it's not tangible, but it's in you, right? I don't feel like it's something we can really pinpoint, but I feel like if I was doing, we say we can do this from everywhere, right? But I do see the challenges from being outside of the United States when most of our business is in the United States, right?
That's the thing too. It's like I'm very competitive and I'm very like I don't quit or give up. So it's like I'm gonna make this work because it is harder, if that makes
Right.
sense. Like I'm not in the States.
It is harder. So if the whole world came to an end and you had to do this from Kansas, you'd probably get some. I suspect that if you didn't shelve it, you'd start getting wins, and those wins would turn into more wins, and then then I'm not saying this is what you're going to do, and then you would have a choice to make, right? Oh, do I go back to Paris, right? Because now I know what it's all about. Now I can make it. Like right now, I know that I could move to, say, South Carolina and do this. I don't know if I would move across the world, but I'm fairly confident I could. Right. But I do definitely empathize with that challenge. Now, do I think you can do it from Paris at your level? 1000%, because you've already kind of got over like how do I do this? The what ifs. You've already had conversations with business owners. So the only thing like kind of hook, like tripping you up is that time frame to get a hold of people and waiting for them to get back to you, which is a pain in the butt. But you've kind of overcome that. So that whole scary part that I would be scared of, you've already been through. So I'm just saying, in a worst case scenario, what would happen is this would all be full circle. You'd probably go home. You'd probably find out like, I can do this from here a little easier. And then you'd build up this portfolio and be able to make any decision you want from there. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just saying this will work. This will work, especially as you get a few clients. So I want you to concentrate on sending out all the way that Jarrett does, still working on the bites that you got, telling the funeral guy, look, let me in there for free. You took care of my family. I want to take care of you. We can talk pricing down the road. Just let me in there for free because I want to showcase you over your competition.
And
Okay.
I don't know what all you're offering, but like once we locked down our 3 services and we went for 2 there for a while, and Google Business Profile because it's fast cash, and then website builds because it's large cash. I don't know if you'd heard Dakota say it or not, but one thing like he done like a poll or like was testing. He was doing this test out, and he was like, once I got on a phone call with somebody, I tell him it's $500 today to get started. But if you start today, right now, I'll waive your $500 and you just pay me $500 and that's for your full month. So it's like, I'm going to help you save $500 a day. All you got to do is pay me $500. That's going to build out your Google Business Profile and that's going to start your services. And then after that, $500 a day to do this, but then after I do this, the next monthly reoccurring is going to be $200.
So we use that in the gym, Brandy. So when someone comes to my gym, they get a free class. They do the class, and at the end of class, they're like, "Oh yeah, how much is it?" And I'm like, "Well, it's $169 a month." And I'm like, "But if you join today, it's $99 for the first month. There's no contract. We ask for a 30-day notice." I close like 9 out of 10 people that I come across because I give them that little bump.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only had a few people say like, "Well, why would you do that? Why is it more tomorrow?" Because a lot of times people are scared to try something new, and I want to push you up the ledge. I want you to jump in the pool with me.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I let you walk out my door?
And like our website builds, same thing. I'm like, $2,000. Yeah, it seems expensive, but your phone that you have in your hand is about $3,000. You didn't pay $3,000 today. You're paying this monthly. So if you want to pay me $250 for the next blank months, you automatically know you have $250 for $3,000. And then it's like, hey, you want me to continue doing these updates and making sure that your website's good and updated? It's $150 a month. That's covering their charge for the hosting, and you're making, $80, so we just need more calls like this. I literally get on the call or get on school app to go to the calendar and put in what phone calls that I want to be on for the week, put them in my calendar, make sure that it reminds me, and I jump on there.
Yeah, this is the only one I can do because the other ones, it's my bedtime.
Yeah, I get you. And that's like Zach Coder. He said last night he's going to be doing, instead of every week, he's going to be doing 2 a month. So his is like 5:30 to 6:30. I have no idea what, time it is there. But, man, he gives out so many nuggets.
Zach?
Zach Coder. Yeah.
Zach's
like an open
my
playbook.
Yeah, Zach is my mentor. Just when I think I've thought of it all, man, the guy gives me a curveball. I'm like, man, why didn't I think of that?
I know.
Yeah, but he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's generating 30 grand a year, 30 grand a month. So
and don't get discouraged because like at the moment I'm looking back going to the oil field, you know what I mean? So I have a really good opportunity. I have my occupational health and safety degree, so I'm hoping to get back and be in safety. We are going to put a 2-year game plan. Hopefully everything goes smooth with a 2-year game plan if I can get the job. But it's like, I hate to even say this because I don't want to be a discouragement. It's to take that mental toll off of me to have a job and continue working marketing and grow it because I know it can be grown.
Yeah,
I've done the sell. We've sold multiple websites. They're obviously not reoccurring, but you know how nice it is when someone's like, yeah, I'll pay you $2,000. You're like, holy crap. It's
Brandy,
like,
Brandy, you get a website. He's fun. You get a website build and just give it to me and I'll build it for you.
Okay.
In like a week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Eventually, I have to go back to learning that, but that was just, we had 1 semester of it in college and we hated it 20 years ago. So it's like, I don't know anything about web design anymore.
Don't waste your time. Like there's so many of us that can do it for you and you'll save time. And like, so I don't even do it anymore. Nikki, my girl does it. So, all right. So write that list for me. What's your bare minimum? And don't think about what you have to make. Think about 3 to 5 wins at 30, 40, 50, 70, $80. $80 over 5 wins is $400 a month. You know what I mean? Like, look at it that way. Look at like ramping up the volume instead of going at someone's throat for $200, $300, $400, $500. Okay. And that's the way I did it in the beginning. Like I remember doing my first website build for $99 a month over 12 months. I charged this guy $1,200 for a 1-page. I said, pay me $99 a month. And he did. I have nothing to do with that guy anymore. That was my first website build.
Yeah. Did you get my pictures, Brandy?
Was it from school?
Yeah.
Well, let me check. Oh, and can you send me, I was going to ask you to, hang on. Can you send me that verbiage too, just so I can have it like.
Already did.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. Wait,
and did you go back to the funeral guy and say, look, we want to do this for you for nothing. Just let me get in there for, we'll talk about it. Just get in there.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Yes, I did get in, by the way. I just got it.
Cool.
Thank you for that too.
You're welcome.
Thanks for focusing on me because I really appreciate the lifting me up. I need it. I feel like I'm just at the end of my rope.
What I told my pastor this morning, I was like, obviously it's a whole different scenario, but I was like, I've never just really had someone that I can follow in the footsteps and like, in a quote, learn to be a man. You know what I mean? So you just need a little bit of guidance.
Yeah, definitely. If I can just like take what you guys do, copy paste it. That's what I want to do right now because it's like I'm out of ideas. I'm so drained in my mind. I'm so out of ideas and I'm so out of kind of motivation. And it's like I don't have it in me to quit, but I'm just like that close.
So go to chat, tell them that I'm having trouble closing Google Business Profile Management. Can you give me a list of messages from the first initial text with 10 follow-ups where you can take your emotions out of it? You just go in there, copy and paste, because at the end of the day, you got to remember, you're not bothering that service person. They are either too busy or at the moment don't give a crap.
Right. Yeah, you're not bothering them.
You have to give It sucks to say, but for their business, you have to care more about their business than they do to make them realize I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just
I need to put that on like a poster all over my apartment or something. Like,
put your pricing list first.
okay.
yeah.
And then that will help you feel a bit more
You
calm.
see how red my face is? I'm like getting all worked up right now.
It's all good.
Not in a bad way.
It just means you care. You want to thrive. That's
it's not in me to fail or quit. So it's like I want to make this succeed, you know.
Yeah,
remember, like you said.
Remember, Brandy, I know your circumstances are different and you're being like put in a corner, but you really haven't been at this a long time. Okay,
well, and I think though too, when I signed up, what was his name? Kendall, I think that was his name that signed me up. He said within like 3 months you'll be making that 5,000 back. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That'd put me the first of the year. Nope, that hasn't happened yet.
That didn't happen for us either. That
anticipation or that like not like an empty promise, because I don't want to call him a liar. I don't want to say that at all.
No,
but
there's probably some people that have done that. I'll show you. I've never showed anybody this. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't show it. It's being recorded, but
I know what sucks is just because I've got a little bit of MMA background, when you're in the corner, you don't want to be knocked out, you just cover up a little bit more. Cover up a little bit more, protect your mind, stay focused.
My mind, like seriously, the battle is in the mind. That is not a joke.
Yeah.
I try to
put your guard up, stand firm, grow.
So guys, this is exactly when I started. This was me building out my rank and rent. I started in the end of May. I really didn't start building my website until June. This was my rank and rent, like what I had to spend. See the $4,800 here? That was, oh wait, I'm not presenting. So that's great. So hold on.
There we go. See, I'm not even this organized either.
So this is a P&L that I use. Like on the left is like how much I've spent, on the right is what I've made. And you can see here in the beginning, like these are all my expenses, 5, 8, $6 grand. Look at the right, Brandy. I'm in the hole until I'm still in the hole. I'm still in the hole. I'm still in the hole.
Yeah, if I'd have done that, I'd have been very discouraged. We've spent so much money on lead gen. That's why I literally kicked that on our back burner.
Wow. Until right about here. So here's 12,855. Here's 12,500. Right? So if I go 13 here, I'm about 13 here. Okay, this is November of the next year. Wait, am I right about that? Yeah. So this is 2024. We're in the 25 here. 1125. Right in here. I was coaching and I was still breaking even. So, I mean, think about that. That's a year and a half it took me to break even, But then look what started to happen, right? So this is where I'm at in like expenses. But now look at what happened.
Is that what you have on retainers?
Most, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it repeats itself every month. I charge people either on the 3rd, or I charge people on the 1st and on the 15th. So you'll see a whole month from here all the way to here. All these are recurring. And then, so, I mean, it just keeps going now, right? My goal is to get to 100 grand here soon. So I know my point is that it took me a year and a half to break even. How long you been in the group?
4 or 5 months.
Right.
Oh, by month 5, I was throwing this up in the air and taking on new routes.
I'm this close to like trying to find another marketing job on Indeed or something.
So my point is that it's gonna ramp up much quicker, because like I wasn't anywhere in 5 months. I was still working on my rank and rent. You're already looking at like all these other ways to make money in the program, which which didn't exist a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Okay.
That I had to throw away rank and rent because it was very discouraging.
And I know how to keep your expenses low. So before you guys go buying fancy software and all that stuff, like it's not necessary. Like not yet.
We literally pay for Canva and chat.
That's it. I don't even pay for chat yet. I pay for Canva and Loom.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a call with one of our guys we were building a website for, and he was like, "Can we jump on a Zoom and go through this?" And we're like, "Yeah, send us a link. We'll jump on."
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right, guys, I gotta run, but make that little list for yourself just so you mentally like can see something tangible, and then I still think the funeral guys, I think you should pepper him some more to let you in.
remember, stand your ground. Stand your ground.
No, I know that's the hard part. The fight, it's there, but it's it's weakening some days. So basically, just send the funeral guy and just tell him, let me in there for free for a month or two, and then we can talk pricing later or something.
Say it's driving me crazy that I'm not managing a profile. Let me add it. Like
don't do. From my point of view, I would only do 15 to 30 days. 60 days,
30 days.
Way too long.
Okay.
Way too long.
And then you show him, send him an update every week and saying, look at this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what we did today. This is what we did today. This is what we did this week. This is what we did this week. And then after a month, if he's not going to pay you, then he has no really moral compass. You know what I mean? And so then you just let him go. Okay. All right, guys.
Bye, y'all.
All right.
Thanks,
Have a good
Jay.
week.
Thanks.
Bye.